Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for August 30th, 2012. It is 8:16 a.m. and we are coming to the close of the work week. Some people, actually, this is their Friday as we start a long weekend for the Labor Day weekend. So some people are going to have off on Friday, which is going to be pretty nice. But here we are on Thursday, and we have very comfortable weather conditions in place. We have temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 50s over the interior to the lower to mid 60s along the coast. We even have a few upper 60s in the Philadelphia metropolitan area and over Long Island. We have a light northerly wind as high pressure is in complete control with clear skies. And look at those dew points. Those dew points are in the mid 40s to lower 50s, upper 50s to lower 60s along the immediate coast because, well, we're closer to the Atlantic Ocean, so that makes sense. Overall, a pleasant morning for Thursday. But how long will this last? Well, let's take a look at the latest forecast. And first, we're going to start with observations because observations are far more important than model guidance. And I'm bringing up the radar for one particular reason. You see all this moisture of what's left of Tropical Storm Isaac. It's still a tropical storm, but it is slowly weakening. It is a large tropical storm. Here is the center of circulation. Luckily, all this heavy rain is starting to lift north into locations that actually need it because there's been a significant drought over this portion of the country since the start of spring. So really, these locations are getting some beneficial rainfall. Luckily, also, this rainfall is also starting to exit portions of eastern Louisiana and southern Mississippi. They've just been flooded out completely with over 20 inches of rain, over 2 feet in some cases of rain for those locations. So it was pretty ugly down there. And of course, we have dry conditions over the northern Mid-Atlantic with high pressure and control. Now, notice here, you see this right here? This is residual moisture. I'm going to show you in the water vapor what that looks like in just a second. But you can see some of this moisture is starting to train along a boundary here. Now, let's take a look at the water vapor. This is interesting for several reasons. This right here is your subtropical jet stream. And as you can see, it is chock full of moisture. And we have a boundary here over portions of North Carolina, cutting back through the Tennessee River Valley and heading towards the Mississippi River Valley. Here is what's left of Isaac, slowly lifting north and slowly becoming less tropical, more extratropical. And we know that because dry air is starting to really get into the circulation of this low pressure system. This right here is actually Kirk, Tropical Storm Kirk, very close to becoming a hurricane. Kirk will not be an impact on the eastern United States. Why? Because of this subtropical jet stream. Notice that winds with this subtropical jet stream and all the moisture is moving from west to northeast. And we're going to see strong shear take apart Kirk and turn it back into the northern Atlantic and influence the weather pattern over the northern Atlantic. So you can see the weather pattern we have in place here. High pressures in control, dry conditions are in place over the northern mid-Atlantic. This high pressure system, though, is going to shift more towards the coast by tomorrow. And what we'll see is the winds at the surface this evening through tomorrow morning will shift to the southwest. And why is that important? Because winds at the lower and mid levels are going to start to shift to the southwest, and that means all this moisture that's sitting down here over the southeast will gradually make its way up into the northern mid-Atlantic. Now, initially, that's going to lead to an increase in humidity that we're going to feel tomorrow and on Saturday, with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, possibly a few lower 90s in the Philadelphia metropolitan area. And that humidity is going to lead to temperatures feeling like they're in the lower to mid 90s. So we're certainly going to see an increase in humidity. We're also going to see an increase in the potential for scattered showers starting Sunday and continuing on through early next week. Now, the GFS is drier in this forecast pattern, but I like the European model guidance for the simple reason that you have all this moisture just sitting over the southeast, and then you add a southwesterly wind, and then you get these pesky disturbances like this one over the northern plains moving through. So you add all that moisture with a weak lifting, and you end up with widely scattered showers each day, capable of producing a heavy downpour or two. Again, not a washout, not a widespread rain threat or anything of that nature, But when you have all this tropical moisture just sitting here ready to be picked up, you're going to have to expect some scattered showers. And with the amount of disturbances moving through the region starting on Sunday and continuing on through Wednesday, you got to expect at least a threat or at least a potential for scattered showers each day starting on Sunday. Taking a look at the infrared satellite picture again, high pressures in complete control, not a cloud in the sky, beautiful weather conditions today, with temperatures in the lower to mid 80s along the immediate coast and mid to upper 80s elsewhere. With low humidity, it's going to feel absolutely beautiful. So get out there and enjoy the weather after you get done watching this video. So let's take a look at the European mile guidance from the Penn State EWOL website. Here we are for this evening. You see our trough is off of the east coast. We have a nice trough hanging back all the way towards what's left of Isaac. High pressures in control throughout the entire northern mid-Atlantic, producing tranquil weather conditions. Now notice this trough here and this trough here. This is going to be a key part in our weather pattern over the next several weeks, because this trough is what's called a negative EPO pattern. What that basically means is that it leads to a ridge in the west, trough in the east. So moving forward in our weather pattern, you can see high pressure starts to shift off the coast. Here we are by tomorrow evening. Southwesterly wind starts to take hold at the mid levels, and that's going to start to lift that moisture northward. It's also going to allow our temperatures to bump up into the mid 80s to lower 90s. Again, the best potential for lower 90s will be in the Delaware River Valley. Heading on through Saturday, again, dry conditions will remain in place with tranquil weather conditions as well for Saturday. Now on Sunday, the first of several disturbances will start to move through the region. Again, we have a nice southwesterly wind. We have all this moisture sitting over the southeast that's going to start to influence our weather pattern, thus the potential for scattered showers for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now, again, these disturbances aren't strong. They're what I call pesky, annoying, a bit bothersome, especially if you have outdoor activities, but not a widespread rainfall event. Simply just a potential for some scattered showers each afternoon, and those showers will have a tropical nature in them, thus the potential for heavy downpours. Now, I know, I'm going to bring this up because I know it's going to be brought up anyway, okay? The European mile guidance, as you can see here, has a tropical system that develops over the central Atlantic. That is a disturbance that's actually in the central Atlantic right now. And that disturbance or tropical low pressure system, whether it's a tropical storm or hurricane, makes a beeline right towards New England. Now, let me be very clear here. The track of this storm here is directly influenced by the positioning and strength of this trough here. So 10 days out, if there's a slight difference in the trough, there's a major difference in the track of this tropical low pressure system. When I take a look at the ensemble guidance, this trough by this point is a lot deeper and a lot stronger. Instead of being tilted this way, it's actually tilted more north to south. And that means that this tropical low pressure system never even gets close to New England, and in fact remains over the northern Atlantic. Previous mile guidance had this tropical low pressure system interacting with this portion of the trough, and that led to a very deep trough and very powerful negative NAO pattern over the northern Atlantic. I tend to lean towards that type of weather pattern considering the rest of the weather pattern over North America. So, if you have any concerns about tropical low pressure systems impacting the United States over the next 10 days, aside from what's left of Isaac, then I would say that hold off your fears, keep an eye on the positioning and track and strength of these troughs, and we'll get a much better handle on exactly what happens with that disturbance here. My bet, though, is that that disturbance remains over the Atlantic and actually starts to enhance a very powerful and impressive negative NAO pattern for early and mid-September. Well, that is your forecast discussion for today. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. You can follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter and Facebook. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there.